Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
She was like, everything nice and passionate about
Please read the disclaimer. Everybody's reading this. Yes, he's not ahead. See, you always tell where Vinny is, every
I don't know
time.
what he's talking about half the time. It's the apple farm.
Please be sure, was this one?
Doesn't it sound like it's
Read this, leave that for the recording.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, quiet. As Vinny's quieting down, please make sure that you turn off the ringer on your cell phone. Please make sure you disconnect from the Wi-Fi so that we get a great recording on this. And happy holidays, everybody. Welcome. It's so nice to see everyone. And please, if for any reason you're at the front of the room, do not trip over the camera cord. Please ask somebody politely to excuse behind yourself. I'm so worried about somebody tripping over this. Please. That's my one request for everyone. Oh, let's just start off with spotlights. That's a lot of fun. Is Joe here? Joe.
He's not.
Congratulations, Joe Fair. I know. What we were just talking about, Joe. So congratulations to Joe Fair. He hit the lovely milestone of capping. So as some of you may know, that means he's at 100% commission for the rest of his year. So congratulations, Joe Fair.
Yeah, he's going into the new year with 11
It is
about
fun.
top.
Oh my God.
That's really fun to be capped when you have a nice, robust pipeline.
Yeah.
Because you're taking home all that check. That's fun. That's how you want to close out the year. I love it. Oh, we have another capper in the room. Ooh, Chris Bain. Congratulations. Awesome. I love to see that. And you guys, this is, if you don't know, please talk to me afterwards if you don't understand how the math works. This is 100%. Like, KW is built so that, like, yes, you're paying a part of your commission into the market center because we're paying for all the resources for you to be an agent. But when you hit that cap, that's all you, baby. That's 100%. That's fun.
Is that why you're feeling extra sexy today, Stan?
Ask me what he said.
Extra sexy, though. Extra sexy to be at 100%. Bucket fills. Does anybody have a bucket fill for someone? Actually, who's going to fill a bucket?
So, as an operating partner, and Nancy as an MCA and Sarah as team leader, we have a class we have to attend every 3 years. And over the last several years, it's gotten not great. And so last week, we didn't have stats because we were all in Austin for this not great class. And it actually ended up being, they've rewritten it, it was really good. But I am so grateful that Nancy's back because we got to hang out for 2 days and I just freaking forgot how much I missed having our physical event.
I love that. Yes, Gaga.
I want to thank Emily for keeping me accountable and reaching out every morning for how long.
I was going to think this too.
Every morning and every 4 weeks. Since I canceled my office, I've been at the office every day. So we just hang out in the living room and we do it, and it feels really good.
It's great.
Like this morning, I didn't show up. I kind of had to do something else, and I felt so bad. And we all feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to work today. What is whoever? You know what I mean? It kind of felt. Yeah, it felt really good, and it's all thanks to her because she was every morning. She's like, hey, I'm coming this time when I need to get it. Yeah, it's just so nice.
Yep.
I can't remember last week, and Emily's sitting on the floor. I'm like,
It's our living room now. So,
What feels different, Emily? What feels different to you having an accountability partner to show up for?
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Things are finally starting to happen. Of course, I the first 2 days we were in here, I texted Ashley, I was like, where's my $2 million listing? I lead gen for 2 days.
I did 2 days of work.
And I was like, it's so crazy how much we all just think about, we all want instant gratification, but.
well, wait a minute, how long ago was that? 3 weeks? What are you doing today, after the meeting?
Showing a $3.5 million house.
Oh, not instant gratification, but that's
3 weeks is pretty good. Yeah, I will take it.
Yeah.
Becoming a habit.
Yeah. And are you accepting others to come visit in the living room and work?
Oh yeah, everybody's welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure they heard that out loud. That if you are having trouble, if you thought you were going to work from your home office and you're not showing up at your computer and phone like you thought maybe you would, and you need a little inspiration, the ladies are here.
And then we're here because we were not showing up at home. that has worked for me for 7 years, guys. I did enough at my home to at least, not as much as I should, but did enough to actually build my business, and now it's coasting isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here.
That needs to go on a t-shirt.
Yeah, like that. That's I have a thought on that too that I'll add in a little bit, but yes. Okay, so everybody is welcome. Come hang out. It's a lot of fun. Command Your Business with Broker Bob, weekly on Wednesdays. I have only going to say on this, I have already started to hear feedback on this as well. This is another way, if you want accountability, show up to these workshops, bring your computer, be working, because I'm already hearing that people are getting things just by getting their database into Command and communicating with people. Go figure.
Melinda was here today, and so was Wendy. If they're here.
Yeah. Anything to add, Broker Bob?
Are they here? They can
Yes.
speak.
Hi,
Good. Did you learn something?
Of course. I always learn something from you, Dee.
I love it.
You and Alicia.
Oh, okay.
So please come Wednesdays at 11, weekly, come in, this is another form of accountability, come and do the actions, they work. Mondays with Mark, we were talking to Mark yesterday, I don't know if either of you guys remember the number of how many transactions he said, it was like 15,000 transactions that he goes through in a year? What? Or that he's been through? That he's been through?
On his life.
On his life? He's been through 15,000 transactions. That's his experience. But that number, I was like, that's a lot of transactions. And he's there to answer questions so that if you have something coming up, if you're not sure, or if you want to know more, he will go into a business type lesson if you don't have questions. But I think it's extremely valuable to have that open office hour just to go ask questions so you're prepared based on somebody who's done and reviewed 15,000 transactions. And he also sees trends, so he can help you avoid certain pitfalls as well. So Mondays with Mark, don't forget that. We are reminding you of some office hours. We are closed on the 23rd at noon. We'll be closed all day the 24th and 25th. And we will be closed all day the 31st and the 1st. Hopefully people are resetting and talking to every human they know about real estate. I got 3 deals for my cousins this year, you guys. This is still an opportunity to work, but also, yes, reset, be with your family. All the things. Escrow Partners is here today.
Hi.
Hi. If you guys have not been into Escrow Partners office yet, down the hall, skip one door, next one over. Please go say hello. We have a couple people to spotlight today. So first we want to start with Sal, Korean, and Joseph Acosta for opening escrow. Congratulations. Way to go into December strong. Congratulations to everyone. I will say there are a few agents that open escrow after I built the slide. You will be coming in the next spotlight, but people right now are opening business. We are seeing the trend. Things are happening. So get in there because people are listing and people are getting into escrow. Oh, oops. 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 Hey. I know I had another slide there. The other thing I will tell you is there was another slide that we did. That's okay. I sent it in a weird package. I also wanted to thank Rob Paul. He left us a review on Google, and it means so much to Escrow Partners to have those Google business reviews because Escrow Partners, we will work obviously with all of you lovely agents, but we can also work with agents that are not in the KW Metro office. So last week I had a QR code up. I'm going to send that out, so you will be getting it in email from me. I'm just asking anybody who's worked with us, if you've done a net sheet with us, if you've done anything with Escrow Partners, those reviews do mean a lot to us. So thank you to Rob for leaving a lovely review. We appreciate that. And you will see that coming to an email sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Do you have that QR code still?
And somewhere it's in the.
We'll put it on the Facebook page.
Well, yes. That.
You can do that.
That's for you.
Yeah. So coaching corner with Alicia. Charlie got his very first BRE. Process of writing offers for these people, and of course, push the button. See what he closed another escrow with their buyer. This was actually their listing that they just had. was concurrent on closing with the buyer on that, so we all know that that's a little bit tricky, and that was their very first listing that they did, so. And they passed, so now they're earning 100%, just like,
So let's stay back there. There's no outside. You have fun today. You look great.
I've been having fun today, yeah. So we had another Fed meeting.
Did they do?
They lowered it by a quarter of a point. Can't hold your horse. Yes, and no, because they came out and basically made the predictions for the next couple of years. And if you don't know, the Fed is comprised of, I think it's 12 or 13 different Fed chairs, and they all choose a spot called a dot plot, and they put a dot on the plot of where they think that rates are going to be for the Fed funds rate is going to be next quarters, right, over the next few years. And those plots changed. So they predicted we were going to have 4 rate cuts next year. The market's now pricing in 1. So if you look at your portfolio today and you open it up and you see the stock market, the Dow dropped 1,100 points, and a lot of other things are correcting, it's because they're expecting inflation to go up next year a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, well, with the tariffs, and you guys are familiar with what tariffs means? Yeah, okay. With the tariffs that have already been kind of pre-announced and all the spending that Trump plans on doing, it's just gonna make it harder for those rates to come down. So, like I've been saying for a little while, is things are probably gonna get worse before they get better, but the good news is that, hey, we're in housing and we're in San Diego and property prices here are expensive. So you don't need to sell a lot of properties to make a healthy living. You just need to go out there and stay on top of your database. Put everybody into, like I do trainings for my company on databases. Put everybody that you talk to into your database. Make a little task for them. Like hit them up in a couple of months. And when that task pops up, give them a call. If you haven't talked to your friends, go through your Facebook. If you don't have their email addresses or their phone numbers, hit them up on Facebook or on Instagram. Put that information into your CRM and keep up with these people. Even if you do like 5 to 10 people a day on your socials, it adds up after time. And you wind up getting everybody's contact information and you keep building your database and you're gonna wind up getting transactions from these things. So it's one of the best pieces of advice I can give to you guys. Just do something every day with your database. That's how I've been making a living for the past couple of years, is by staying on top of my database. So any questions, y'all, about kind of the market and what's going on with the Fed and the economy that I can answer for you? Anybody? No? Yeah, dude.
Well, you said it went down a quarter point, so
Yeah.
on the average,
Uh-huh.
what would you say that VA FHA is at?
They're probably in the low 6s at this point, floating right around 6%, and your regular conventional rates are probably high 6s, to right around 7%. So, and you know, they're probably going to see that stick around. It's going to be sticky for a while. And so, you know, that's going to impact prices, obviously, because if rates come down, you're going to have that bidding war, right? It's going to come up on the houses. So they're not going to come down. So you're probably going to see housing prices not increase as much as we would like to see, but still, it's going to be a moderate increase, is what the forecast is. Yes, good question. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, the economy is really healthy, so that's why they're not really doing anything with rates going forward.
I'm gonna build off that.
Yeah,
So, database, we talked about it, Phoebe's teaching a class,
super important.
you're talking about it. The thing that I have heard, and this is what my coach was talking about this morning, so I'm gonna share it with you guys. The thing that I have heard is people have been waiting, right? Everybody's been waiting for the election, been waiting till the new year. You may be hearing it right now. Let's wait until after the holidays. What are we waiting for at this point, right? A lot of people were waiting, hoping that rates would drop a ton,
Yeah,
right?
you
That's what
save a
they've been
ton of
waiting
money.
for. That's what they've been waiting for. So if they're not going to drop a ton, and this is what the news is saying, is that they're not going to drop a ton. So that moment we've been praying for. So given that reality check, when would be a better time to talk? Now Or if you look at all the industry trends that are coming out, home prices are still going up. They're not expected to go backwards. In general, it's like around what, 4% appreciation to 6%, depending on who you
Historically, in
ask.
San Diego, it's 5 1/8 over the past 65 years. So think about it, right? To put this into perspective, right? You buy $1 million home and you have a 5% appreciation every year. You literally just got yourself a $50,000 side gig, not doing anything except for paying your mortgage. Like, that's not a bad side gig, right? Like, I wouldn't mind that every year. So it's just trying to put things into perspective with people sometimes. Like, they see higher monthly payments. Well, guess what? Those payments will come down at some point in the future. Don't try to date the rate and marry the house, please. Right? Yeah, don't.
So, to help you guys, the reason I wrote this up is what I want you to do is take out your phone, and there's a prize in this. There's already a prize built into this. And text, what are your real estate plans for 2025 to 3 people. If you get a response by the end of this team meeting, you're gonna screenshot it, and you're gonna send it either to Nancy or you're gonna send it to the office phone line. And you will be entered into a raffle, and we are going to award a prize. We're paying you to do your job. Come on, this is fine. But we are gonna award somebody that off this text message gets a response and gets a potential lead to get you business. You'll get entered into a raffle. So text this to 3 people. The other text that I will give you is if you feel weird about this, the other one you can do is, hey, I thought of you today. That's not offensive to anyone. Hey, I thought of you today. And if they follow up, they're like, why did you think of me? All you need to say is, I was in a training today and somebody told me to text 3 people I was grateful for. That is the best conversation. Nobody gets a text that says I'm grateful for you, or I don't get them that often. You can put me on the list. It's a really nice way going into the holiday season just to start conversations so you can get into real estate conversations. Yeah.
Wouldn't the third one be a double blind instead of an open-ended question? The open-ended question is going to basically not get people to go forward. But a double blind would say one or the other and actually get an easier response.
John, stop texting me this.
If your pipeline has so many leads, you can handle them. You can write whatever text you want. This is the one that gets you entered. I'm just trying to give people options to get into conversations. If that's not a problem for you, fantastic. I can't wait to celebrate your success in 2025. Okay, I won't spend any more time on that. Ashley has a ton of information to get you guys to. Broker update, Jimmy.
I just texted 3 people and I got 3 dates tonight, so I got. Said I'm thinking of you. All of us are just want to see the pictures of that too. Nancy, we have to leave early, so don't call me. Just the update, the zip forms updated today, yesterday. So 5 transactional documents had significant changes in it. Hopefully you watched the meeting last week. If not, you can go online and replay it. I've sent you emails. I've sent you text messages. I've sent you Facebook posts. They're all out there. And that's it.
Excellent. Use it for us. Anybody have a property pitch?
Do we have time?
Yeah, go for it.
So it's not mine, it's not Marlon's. He doesn't have it signed yet, so I'm not gonna give it our address, he's getting it signed right now. But he says he has a stunning 3-bed, 2-bath, 1423 square foot townhome with a 2-car garage, not sure if it's attached, in Chula Vista's newest Coda Vera. Upgraded Lennar home with smart features, paid off solar. Home site is around the corner from a private swim club, minutes from schools and shops. Listed at $725.
Whoa.
So if you want his number, it is 619-410-7236. He's getting it signed.
Marlon also has a listing in Menifee. It's a floor 3 extra market piece for him. So
This will actually be his 3rd active listing he has right now, because he has another one in.
he has another one. Yep.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, call Marlon.
Yeah.
Okay, so bring in some buyers. He's got some listings. Any other property pitches? Yeah, Ben.
I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in the Marina District. That's downtown. Close to the courthouse. So please come by.
We know nothing about this place.
These are open-ended.
Yeah, that's
We're going to use our imagination.
Anybody else have a property to bid? Awesome. And as Ashley is coming up, I will also say, for some of you, we are introducing new vendors into our vendor network. And so you will be seeing some new fun education classes, lunch and learns. There is a new website that we'll be launching on January 1st. So for you as agents, instead of having to go to the Facebook group and be like, hey, does anybody know a fill in the blank? There's going to be a website pre-built for you that when you go to it on your phone, you can dial the person's cell phone number from there, or you can send them an email from there. So I know, right? Coming January 1st, get pumped, get excited. I'm really excited about the vendors we have in our office.
Is it too late to add? Because I got your emails and I said.
It is not too late. That's a great question. It is not too late. I just got someone else in this morning. So everything, I'm in the process of onboarding right now for the next 2 weeks, but you can still come in. I still can get them in for all benefits for 2025. So yeah, just connect me with them on an email three-way and I'll take it from there. Yeah, you got
So
it.
you all know, we're actually vetting everybody.
Yes.
Just the way things have evolved, Jaclyn and I have been meeting with very small groups, 2-3 people at a time, to really get to know them. One's in the room. Eric's in the room right now. Got to meet him last week and was super impressed by him. Emily, thank you for the intro.
Welcome.
You guys will all get to know him, I think, better. Anybody heard of a DST? He's the DST guy. We don't have time for it today, but it's an investment vehicle that you can use like in a 1031 exchange. All right. So, Emily, picking on you again. For those of you that are new to us, we always put a holiday or a national day that's 90 days out on the slideshow for the day that I do stats, because what you're doing today in this business will show up 90 days from now. So the activities that you choose to do now will show up as income for you, not usually any sooner than 90 days. So that instantaneous gratification does not exist. And 90 days from today is March 18th, and it's Awkward Moments Day.
Love it.
And when I saw this, I was like, oh gosh, I have about 5 that I can remember as almost defining moments of embarrassing, awkward moments. Anybody else have one that pops into your head? Anybody want to share? The one that I think scarred me for life, and I actually got reminded of it last week. I went to Dixie Line last week. I don't even remember what I was buying, but a woman was getting a cart in front of me, and she was probably 65, 70, and had toilet paper hanging out the back of her hands. And I just tapped her on the shoulder and said, honey, you've got something going on. Because when I was in high school, I was a cross-country runner, and we were at the state championship, and everybody was looking at me as we were lining up on the line, and I'm like, the last time I went to the bathroom, toilet paper was out the back of my shorts. We walked half a mile to the start line. Yeah. So what was yours today?
So Ryan White, is he in here? No.
He was here.
So Gaga and I have been so going hard, as everyone heard on Lead Gen, that my house is a disaster. And you know how everyone's like, oh, your brain is, I told my husband today, I'm like, you know how the inside of your house and the inside of your car is supposed to also like be the inside of your brain? I was like, they say that. He's like, who's they? I was like, I gotta clean this thing. So I was cleaning all morning in my underwear because that's how I roll. And I opened the door to put the trash bag out, not like because I couldn't take it to my shoot in my underwear. And 2 of my students are in this room, so this is great. And our title rep Ryan was dropping off my Christmas present. I think Hey Ryan. I think it was more embarrassing for him. I was like, hey, Merry Christmas. Good one.
That is awesome.
He won't ever forget.
No. He's like, oh, I was just trying to drop the Christmas, and I was like, we're
The cool thing with awkward moments, we all have them, and it just humanizes us so quickly. Like, come on. Thank you for sharing, Em. All right, so fast facts. I decided to throw one on here on the bottom, just because I don't think everybody. We've gotten some feedback in recent past that we may have been a little tone deaf with the fee increase we did last year for the TCs and Mark. And I wanted everybody to realize that per transaction we close the income that comes into the entire company, Keller Williams San Diego Metro, averages that per transaction. Per transaction. Now, what's the average commission? So that's what you get. This is what we get. What do you think our monthly expenses are?
$98,000.
No.
110.
What if,
I was gonna
wait,
guess 100.
Let's call it 110.
I was close.
110 a month. So if you divide 110 by 2,500 bucks, we need a lot of transactions. Does that make sense?
110 with escrow or without escrow?
No, that's just market center.
Oh.
That's just market center.
Ah, Nancy. Yeah. There you
Well, inflation's a whole thing. Everything has gone up, yes?
Yep.
When do we get the E&O quote? Do we usually get that in September,
Ours.
August? Yeah.
Ashley's making every staff member get an OnlyFans account.
Oh, wow.
What's that?
What's that? Yeah. That's that.
go.
Between last week and your sweater and today, we do have guests in the room. I'm so glad they're not scared off. I enjoyed telling my coaching clients about your sweater last week. All right, now here's the really good news. The market is in San Diego. The market has been incredibly tough the last 2.5 years. We all know that. But we have been trending up in some key categories. And last month, so this is for the month of November, we closed 70% more listings than we did last November. That's awesome. Really, really, really awesome. All right, let's get to the, this is what I added after I sent this to Ari this morning. You know, the Facebook memories come up. This one popped up for me after I completed stats. This is from December 18th, 2012.
Oh.
How long ago was that?
12
years ago. 12.
Did you just say you were at high school?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's all right. Charlie's not here. He was probably like 2. So.
Oh, he's 13.
But here's what I didn't do back then is I didn't put the numbers at the top of each of the columns, but I'll tell you, what this is showing is how many active listings we had. December of 2011, we had 9,500 active listings.
I miss those days.
That's it?
6,500 short sales.
Yeah, I don't really care what they were. Contingent listings, so we had that as a category back then too. So that was at 3,900. And then pending sales was at 4,500 in a month. Okay? So I wanted to give you that perspective. When you get this in your email, go to this slide and compare it to the other slides. Because that was 12 years ago. And by the way, my comment is right now, the new SDAR website, this says it all. What it said was we had a really active market. It was a hot market. We were complaining about how little inventory we had. And now we're here. So the key takeaways from this, and most of the time when I pull stats, I pull them sitting on my computer, put everything together, and then because I've made some typos in the past, I then sit and just go through it either on the couch or with coffee in bed in the morning. With coffee in bed in the morning, this morning, I went, oh my God. Look where we were, how many listings we took through the end of November 2019.
What is that?
That was pre-pandemic, 44,000 listings taken January through November 2019. Pre-pandemic, the last normal year we really had. Because 2020 and 2021 ended up being historically the best years ever in real estate. So 2019 is what I would like us to kind of sometime get back to. So 44,000, same time period this year, 28,000. Look how different those markets, just from what's coming to market. Now, compared to last year, thank God we're up. Last year will likely be the lowest year ever in San Diego for listings. I don't think we're gonna go down below that anytime in the future, unless something really dramatic happens. And the sold numbers kind of follow that. So back in 2019, 29,084 properties sold by the end of November. We're only at 19,000. That's a big chunk of the market that's just disappeared. But I don't think it's disappeared. I think it's been in hiding. So to Ed's point about this next year, I'm actually optimistic because if you look at these numbers for the last full 24 months, it's not that those people who wanted to sell or who wanted to buy disappeared. They weren't abducted by aliens. They just sat on the sidelines. And so how long, to your point, how long can people wait? And they may still wait, think they're waiting for something. But there comes a point when you're talking about housing where you can't wait anymore. Is that 24 months? Have we been on pause long enough that we're gonna start seeing these people who were on the sidelines come back? I think so. Now what I'll say, I do think the first half of this next year, first half of 2025, I think is our best opportunity, and I think we all need to sprint and work our tails off. Because if the economic policy changes go into effect, we will feel those impacts quickly, but not until the second half of next year. So that would mean if inflation is up, people will pull back. They won't be able to make a move. So I would use that right now as incentive to get people, make the move now, and then adjust to it when things get a little tighter. Okay, as of this morning, compared to end of November, look how many fewer properties we have available. This is not unusual. The only people on the market right now or in the market looking to buy are really, really motivated. I know within escrow, I think we've had 6 or 7 deals open up to close by the end of the year, like 2-week closes. Because if people are in the market, they are really motivated. But if they're not that motivated, they just pull off until next year. And so that's why these numbers go down. All right, so that's for condos. Oops, see, there's a typo I didn't catch. Denver. Okay, so this is the last 3 years, all listings taken till November 30th. What do you see? What takeaways do you see on that slide? First, visually, you can see how shitty 2023 was.
Yeah.
Right? That canyon in between 2022 and 2024. By the way, if you were in real estate 2023 and 2024 and you're still here, you need to pat yourself on the back. Truly. Yeah, pat each other. As I've been saying for probably 2 years now, this category of properties, anything, condo or house in San Diego under 400 is disappearing. We just won't see it. I would think by the end of 2026, we just won't have anything under 400 anymore.
Does that include mobile?
I don't include mobile, but it includes mobile if the agent put it in detached, which they do. All the time. All right, and then the solds, they're gonna follow the same pattern. Again, better than last year in total volume, not better under 800,000 because we just don't. That inventory has now moved up.
Do you feel prices stabilize or decline?
There's a paradox, they're still going up, but over what period of time? In the month of November, they went down. November over, you'll see that, you know this, I have that slide on here. November over November, we're still up. And we will continue to go up, only because supply and demand.
Yeah, I mean, Gaga had an interesting client the other day who I didn't want to get into it with, but he was adamant that prices here, especially in relation to like the Temecula area, are you're seeing the price drops a lot significantly more here than you are up there.
You're not seeing the price drop, you might see the listing price drop. Doesn't mean value dropped. There are listing agents who are still pricing ahead of the market, thinking they're gonna get 20% more than last year. That's not happening. But no, there's nowhere for our prices to go.
Still increasing.
They're not gonna increase as fast, like you said.
Right.
Part of it is I don't know where it is, but at a certain point, you hit your level. And San Diego has been the fastest rising real estate market in the country for 3 years. So will we cool off?
Stabilize.
Less of an increase, depending on your price point.
Yep.
This stuff is gonna continue to go up fast, 15-20% a year, because there's demand here. This stuff's gonna cool 5-6% maybe. You'll see why. Oh, so back here. So I on this slide, I put this language so you can see exactly what I pointed out earlier. Pre-pandemic, we had 44,000 listings compared to our 28,000 taken this year. That is dramatic. Again, where did those people go? They just pushed pause. Same with the buyers. Okay. Active houses as of this morning, and this is compared to last month, which is this slide. In every price point, there's fewer actives right now. Again, you would not be surprised by that because it's holidays. People don't want to be on the market. Condos, same story. That's November, that's December. Just fewer available. All right, absorption rates, all very, very high.
Wait a minute, what's the absorption? Is it the blue or the yellow?
No, so listed is the blue, yellow is sold.
Sorry, I
Is the
didn't
sold.
see the little.
It's okay, the absorption rate is the percentage. There's quite a few of you who've been in this stat meeting many, many, many times. What absorption rate defines a seller's market?
20%? Sometimes we say 20, but lately we say 15.
20% is always a seller's market, 15 is where it would break into a buyer's market. 15 to 20, you're in a balanced market. Doesn't really matter because we're never gonna see that. It only matters to show you as professionals how extreme our circumstances are as far as a seller's market goes. We would have to slow down so much to have absorption rates in the teens. Even Ari's not gonna see that in her lifetime.
Yesterday.
All right, new listings, and the number that is up there is, I only put it for houses in the November, because the condos, it's the same trajectory. In all cases, we are over last year. So that's what I wanted you to see. We actually have ticked up past 2023. The trend is we will pick up more sales, hopefully month over month, going into 2025. Again, if we survive 2023, 2024, even if 2025 is the same as 2024, we're okay. We already survived. Does that make sense? Most of us made the adjustments we had to make when our incomes fell off a cliff in July of 2022. Yes?
And what I would say, the other thing that was on my coaching call that led me to this thought is, from what Emily said, is the listings should go up, but not by such a dramatic amount that you're gonna get 20 listings dropped in your lap just because of nature. You're gonna have to be doing the work. So if you're good where you are this year and you're doing the same amount of activity to get the same amount next year, that makes sense. But if you're not where you need to be doing actions differently. You need to be taking more actions. You need to be doing that because it's not going to be so many listings that they're just going to be falling in your lap. It's going to take you to
Well, think about it. So let me go back. New listings. Actually, let's go back. Actually, we'll go, here we go. No, we'll go to the very front, this one. So in order for us to, if they were just, listings falling from the sky and we got back to 2019, what percentage increase would that have to be over this year?
70%.
That is not happening. We are not gonna see a 70% increase. I would be ecstatic if we saw a 20% increase.
Come on, we could do that, right?
Yeah, I would be excited at 20%. I think we'll probably have 10 to 15% more than last year. Yeah, conservative estimates. But it's gonna take several years to get back to those levels. And I think we will, because our population isn't decreasing. So again, that demand, I mean, 43,000, 46,000, 44,000, 39,000, and that was a trend. Yeah.
So, question, I was talking to 2 different property management groups, I don't do property management. They're saying that the occupancy has ticked up over the last couple of months. So I would, a quick assumption would be is if occupancy, or like vacancies basically for these.
Vacancies have ticked
Yeah,
up?
vacant,
They're
the
very
rental.
different.
Yeah, sorry, so more vacancies are ticking up. So if vacancies tick up, I think the rents would slowly go down. So if the rents go down, the divide between, especially if rates don't go down, the divide of buying and renting, right, are gonna be bigger and bigger. So the demand should cool off, I would assume, unless there's new things in the market where we're gonna hear.
There's your caveat. In the rental market, there is a hell of a lot of new product. And it's all very expensive. So that's what you're seeing coming down.
But still, the monthly mortgage compared to basically the rent, I mean, it's still a lot cheaper, and I know that's always the difference for the $1 million, $1.5 million buyers right there, is they're paying so much less on the rental market, and so if we see more of that kind of in the $1 million market, it's gonna make it harder to kind of sway that unless rates go down, so I would think that would play into the demand next year.
It will, and many people, especially in that bracket, know they're gonna build wealth by owning, not renting, regardless. Even
But
it's a
if
little
you're
more
having
expensive.
money work for you in other avenues, right? Then if you're smart about it.
You're correct.
Yeah.
I think for small pockets of the population, not for the general public.
Okay.
We'll see.
I mean, I had this conversation with this like 3 months ago, but it was like, I would say about the purchase price was about $1.8 million, and the difference plus the down payment was roughly about $3,000 a month difference, right from the rent to the purchase.
But you're not getting the big tax deductions and all that.
Oh, for sure, but you're also that $400,000 that you're putting down, you could be using that in the stock market, which has been fantastic.
You could.
So I don't know, I was trying to think of if the rents start going down, I mean, that might slow the demand, I mean.
Again, I have a property management company.
Yeah.
We are not seeing existing home prices for rentals go down.
Okay.
We're seeing the multi-unit apartment complexes that are all in North Park and Metro.
Yeah.
They are all reducing their rates,
Gotcha, okay.
but
More of the con-
not the actual single family, house.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like, when you alluded to the pent-up demand where these buyers are, I'm in one of those new North Park, those were always the top end of the rental market. But that doesn't mean that the people that were in condos or other rentals, their rents just aren't going up as quickly, which could just allow them to save up for a down payment. I think, the American dream is still there. I think people are coming back to the office. So you have Apple moving in, to UTC, and people that have to work and stay in this area still want to eventually own a home. And I think salaries are still elevated in this area. So if you're here, I think the savings. I'm a stock market guy. I just don't see people having an extra 30 grand and saying, I don't want to buy a house anymore.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see, time will tell, right?
We'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I just mean if rents aren't going,
Yeah.
they're still waiting to buy. I think.
All right, so active listings, again, I have last November versus this November. That could look like an extreme buildup in inventory, but those numbers are still not enough to meet our demand. However, that should make you all feel better. When there's more to sell, we sell more. Yes. Okay. Pendings, same thing, way better than last year. Which, by the way, means December will be way better than last year because those are the pendings in November, right? And then the solds, way better. Look how much better year over year. So honestly, we picked up steam. The first 10 months of the year were very much like 2023. Actually, that's not fair. First 9 months. September, October, November, our market started to actually accelerate. which makes me excited for the first quarter. Median sales price. So these next two slides go to Ed's point about what's happening with our value. We are still seeing 10% or better appreciation over the last 10 years. Now, I was going to chart out the last 30 years, but SDAR does not have that data, unfortunately. What I could have done, and I didn't, I could go back to 2004, but I could also just tell you, we only saw about a 50% increase in value from 2004 to 2014. That's not a lot compared to now when we're seeing a 100% increase. Now, I personally believe, just based on being in the market, and I was going, oh, Mark's done 15,000 deals. Robert and I have been together since 2017 or 2007, and we've averaged 1,200 deals a year closed here. It's a lot of transactions. Watching all those, I think we actually had a structural shift, and I don't know what caused it, but I would absolutely anticipate we will see a doubling every 10 years in the cost of real estate, because we're not making any more, but we are making more humans, which means more demand. So if your demand is going to continually go up because more babies are being born and you have nowhere else to build, how are your prices going to come down? Anybody?
Moral of the story, if you haven't bought your own home, no wait. And then take that passion to your clients.
Well, and that's how we counter what Vinny's saying. So yeah, this could look scary. And it's very easy to say, well, this isn't sustainable, but it is. We sustained it for a decade. Yeah.
Do you think that this is just our markets, our area, or do you think it's gonna expand?
Most places that I'm involved in have seen an acceleration in appreciation. Places that were very stable, 4 or 5% a year, they're at 8 to 10% a year. Again, we have a special situation in San Diego because we don't have any more land. We have ocean border. But at a certain point, wow, last year, does anybody remember, I did the math on the population of the world and the available number of acres per person?
Yeah.
It was 2 acres per person, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
So if you, right now, that was last year, by the way, so maybe it's 1.75 acres per human, and we're not making fewer humans.
You ever foresee, or maybe this is for Ed, foresee a time when we're 40-year mortgages are the norm?
I think we will see, I would not be surprised, and I think we'll see a lot of creativity in the markets, because we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I didn't know that was ever a thing.
Oh yeah, there's some products out there that exist now.
I knew 15, but I didn't.
Anyway, so that's the trajectory of our median, our average. Now, look, both came down in the month of November, but that will correct itself. That is a blip. Because what's the trend? Now, we've talked about the condo market most of this year. It is in a very precarious position right now, which is why you're seeing it trend down. And 11% decrease year over year. But again, that'll pop back up. And once all the balcony situations get resolved and there's some reserves back in HOAs, those values will skyrocket again. It's just a depressed property type right now.
How long do you think that'll take?
2 years? And we'll see what else happens with the economy. I don't want to, you guys know I won't ever try to scare you, and I will always be honest. What I'm forecasting right now is the second half of next year is going to be really tough economically. Now, I personally believe we've been in a real estate recession for the last 2 years, but we're the only segment of our economy that's been in a recession. So I feel like we've taken a beating for the rest of the economy, and we will actually start coming through this because those people have been waiting on the sidelines. We'll start to actually power through this next shift, which is going to be an overall economy downturn. That's what I'm prepared for. Because if there are tariffs that go into place, and if it's 15 to 30%, we are all going to feel that somewhere.
We had a really interesting question today during the Fed meeting afterwards that someone had asked about why does headline inflation look like it's coming down when PCE, which is what they actually go off of, is going up, right? And it's because of housing, because housing is dragging down. So it artificially makes inflation look lower, but we can all feel it because prices, I mean, who's paying like $30 for 12 rolls of, paper towels or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, the prices when you're actually going to pay for it is still super elevated, and until those come down, I don't think that we're gonna get out of this funk.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be tough. And so
I
do
agree.
To a certain degree, people are gonna be sitting for a little longer than we thought.
I saw the other trend is, interest rates were at 0 for 10 years, and then, what was it? 2 years ago, they went up, and, the largest glut of population and money is in seniors above 58, 60 years old. They're salivating now at CDs and interest rates sitting in their bank at 4.5%. So we see more money on the sidelines in cash than we've ever seen.
And more debt.
Interesting. And more debt. It's
And,
such a interesting.
but it's an income inequality issue, right?
Yeah.
So the middle class is shrinking.
Well, it's age demographic.
Right, the age
issue.
demographic issue. So how's that money going to flow back down? Just to their kids, because their kids are struggling.
Yeah.
I have a friend whose parents are buying him a house right now because they don't want to have a family.
Yeah. So
It's just
this
sitting
is
there.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Remember Keller talked about it in 2021 or something like that we stole buyers from the future market, right? Was that actually a set number that he was projecting of what we stole? It was just an idea? Okay.
And you all lived, many of you were in the market then, and you know that. People woke up in a pandemic, trapped at home going, shit, I want the house now.
Yeah.
I know I should probably wait for a couple of years, but I want it now because I don't want to be in this condo and, yeah. So did that happen? Yeah, I think in large part.
But it wasn't like a set, like he thinks 20% or something like that was taken out of this
No,
market,
no.
blah, blah, blah.
I think that was actually even more extreme in 2009 and 10 when we had the first time home buyer tax credit. And they did that to spur the economy. And by the way, if we had the stats all the way back to 2010, that's when we went from aggressive buyer's market to accelerating seller's market for 14 years. So will it slow down? Yes. The seller's side of that market, it's still going to be a seller's market. Median active market time is up. It's been trending up. We may see it go higher than we've seen in the last 10 years by the time we get to February. Typically, January and February are two slowest months. So you may see this at 30 days, 35 days. No biggie. By the way, that's still really fast. I coach teams in markets where their average time on market now is 75 days.
And that's a lagging indicator too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what closed are at the time.
Yeah, for sure. But I heard groans in 75 days. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's a much more balanced market than we have. Still a seller's market, by the way, in those markets. It's just a very slow appreciating seller's market. With the exception, by the way, Nancy and I were, I told you, in Texas last week. I had no idea. The Austin market was very much like ours for years. Aggressive seller's market. All these businesses moved into Austin. If you don't know Austin, guys, it's like San Diego in Texas. It's really a cool city. But whatever has happened there, they went too high too fast, and they within a 4-month period, they went from seller's market to aggressive buyer's market.
Oh.
And those agents are suffering. We were able to go to the largest Keller Williams office in the world, which is in Austin, and the team leader there, who's probably one of the most joyful people I know, is not joyful right now because his agents they have whiplash from how quickly they went from 3 days on market to 7 months of inventory.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you want
So,
to buy an
if-
Austin,
It made, there was a lot of us in the room going, oh, we're all sharing our pain right now. This feels good, and your pain's worse than mine, so I'm gonna stop complaining.
Have prices come down then?
Yeah. And there, you know how, 2020, 2021, we didn't know where to price stuff. Our list price to sales price ratio was 107% because, man, no owner buyer is crazy enough to pay. Now it's going the other direction. So if you're pricing ahead of the market, you go, we gotta be 10% lower than the others. No, you might have to be 15%.
They're one of the largest cities also that has new home development, so that there's a lot of new homes. It's there and in Florida and Atlanta area and North Carolina. All those builders are suffering.
It's a bloodbath, so be grateful. Yes, it's been tough here. It is much tougher in other places. Months of supply ticked up, but still not a whole lot. Average list price to sales price, this is what I'm talking about. So we've been hovering 97 to 98%, really, really healthy. These, it was late 2021 where we spiked at 107% list price to sales price ratio. Because that's when you were submitting offers with a puppy included, just to get it. No. You look so. Straight lace.
Definitely not.
It's all barrage.
Price per square foot. So this, Susan, thank you for saying this earlier. This slide goes with the next one. Again, this is now a 10-year trend. It will continue. If it continues and we double the price per square foot, like the size of this, that's what's going to happen. It is an oh my God, but that's the doubling. Now, you could look at that and go, really? That's asinine, that's never going to happen. But I guarantee you, if we had a time machine and we went back to 2004 and said our prices were going to be here 20 years later, those, besides me, who was in the business in 2004? Yeah. 4 of us? Do you? 2005. Okay, 20. Take a year. Would you have thought our average sales price would be 1.3 million? I remember walking in. I remember going on Caravan in 2005 and going into an 800 square foot property in North Park going, there's no way in hell I would pay $400,000.
All day long now.
1.4 probably now?
Now the fixtures at the beach that used to be under $1 million, or you can't get a fixture for under $2 million, it's literally, I've seen it within the last decade.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And again, time machine going back, we would have thought, no way. So this is feasible. Now, to tie it into what Susan said, if you don't own real estate yet, get some buddies together and get something. I don't care if it's in California or not. I'd love for you to get into the San Diego market because there's not many markets getting 10 to 15% appreciation, but you gotta get it. Buy, as Gary says, buy dirt. We're not making more of it. Buy something. And I know, Eric, you are the stock market guy, but real estate never goes to zero. Some stocks do. I'm a real estate guy now too. Smart guy. And make sure, and it's just, there's so much disinformation out there, and there's so many people fishing for our information and purporting to be experts, terrified what might happen with crypto in the next couple of years. Because there's a lot of support for it now from, be very careful. All right, here's monthly indicators from SDAR. I did update these numbers based on this, but we are still, in San Diego, 2.5 times the national median price. Again, we are blessed. You as salespeople are blessed to be doing the same job somebody in Idaho is doing and making 2.5 times what they're making.
That's why we're here.
That's why you close 2.5 fewer units. And tale of two markets. Market-wide inventory levels were up 28%. Remember I showed you how much over last year we were? Still not a tremendous amount of inventory, but at least it's up. That's a good thing. And we have seen more inventory build up in the condo market because all those factors that are going on there, depressing the market a little bit.
All right? Woo, exactly 2:30. I do want to highlight this really quick. I'm excited to see, we're coming up on the end of the year. You guys pay your NAR dues, get all that stuff done, because they start purging the rolls by the end of March. We'll know how many agents have decided not to continue. This was San Diego County's numbers last year. This side. I will not be able to pull these till March, but I'm already like wanting to.
Ashley?
Yeah.
Can I give a public service announcement?
Of course.
I don't know how the rest of you are, but I've had the worst year, 2024, that I've had in 20 years. And I checked into Cover California. I don't know who is on that program, but if you haven't been and you need to be, I highly recommend it. I couldn't believe the assistance that's available for insurance. So I've always just paid $1,000 a month or whatever it is, outrageous. So I just wanted to say to everybody else, if anybody else is in my boat, I'm happy to share with you somebody that can help you, but it was shocking.
I had the same experience
It was
with
huge.
insurance for my college daughter. It was,
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Great public service now.
Yeah.
All,